historian, and today we'll be ranking the MVP candidates for the 2023 season. So, starting off with Dame, I think that he has a small chance. I don't think the Blazers will be all that great. They have a better defense, and Dame will come back with a vengeance, but I don't think they'll be that great, so the record will definitely hurt his chances. Paul George, I put him in the sneaky contender tier, mostly because he's with Kawhi, and I think they'll really split their votes, so I don't think that he'll be a candidate or a favorite. And for James Harden, I think he could be a sneaky contender as well. I think that this season he could be way better, rested. Also, in the East, I think that they'll be a top 5 team, maybe even top 3. I think that this season they got better, and James Harden, his passing ability is still going to be there. So maybe he could lead the league in assists, and that might help his case. Karl Anthony Towns, I think that he has a small chance. His defense hurts him. Has a great offensive ability, but again, his votes will be split between Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, depending on how good the team is. And it depends on if he takes a jump this season, but I don't know how much of a jump he will take. Kawhi, I also say that he's a sneaky contender. He's just coming off an ACL, or I don't remember exactly which injury he sustained, but I think that he'll come back solid. I don't think he's going to do... Well, he's definitely going to be like a top 10 NBA player for sure, but I'm not certain that he's going to be like a sure candidate. Mostly because injury, and we don't know what he looks like after sitting out a whole season. Joel Embiid, I think that he's an MVP favorite. He almost won MVP last season again, 2 seasons in a row. So I think that he'll get some pity MVP votes. So I think that he has a really good chance this season, especially if the Sixers are a top 3 seed. There's no reason why he shouldn't be an MVP favorite. And he led the league in scoring as a center, so he's for sure a favorite. Because he could have won last year, so... And I think that... I'll get to Jokic, but some of the voter fatigue has hurt him a little bit. But I think he's going to be there. But let's go to Luka. I think that he will be a candidate. And I think it all depends on... Well, he could be an MVP favorite as well, but we'll see as we go on. But I think that the candidate is a better spot for him for now, because the Mavs... Well, they lost Jalen Brunson. We don't know how much of an impact that's made, but they did get Christian Wood. We don't know how good that addition will be or how good that pairing will be. I think it'll be a good pairing. So, Luka definitely always in the MVP conversation. If the Mavs look strong this season, I think that he could definitely be up there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a favorite or even wins the MVP this season, because he's always played like crazy each season, postseason. So yeah, I think he'll definitely get a lot of votes if he plays well. Trae, I'll put him in the candidate section as well. So yeah, looking at that, yeah, I'll probably put Luka up too. So I think Trae could be a candidate if the Hawks are a sure playoff team, especially since, I don't think that they'll be the best team in the East, especially with the Donovan Mitchell trade. But I don't even know if they're going to be making the playoffs. But I mean, it's possible. But I don't know if he's going to be for sure in the playoffs. That's what kind of hurts his case a little bit. But the thing is, he's always had those MVP numbers, but the team around him hasn't always been the best. So I'll just put him in the candidate section because... And also his defense is also another thing that hurts him. So if DeJounte Murray can help him with his defense a little bit, right? I think that could help him with his case for MVP. He's always had MVP numbers, but it's always been the defense that's held him back a little bit. But maybe this will help. Ja, I'll also put him in the candidate. The Grizzlies were great last season. The thing is, with Ja, his team was great without him, and that kind of hurt his case a little bit. So I think that he deserves to be on the candidate, not an MVP favorite. So I think maybe that was just a fluke, maybe his team really does need him to that level. He showed it in the playoffs as well against Golden State. He didn't have a good series against the Timberwolves, but if you looked how he did against Golden State the whole year, I think he could win the MVP. But sometimes he's a little bit inconsistent. But yeah, I think he could win it. Nikola Jokic, definitely an MVP favorite. His case is hurt a little bit by the fact that if he won another MVP this season, he'd be a 3-time MVP in a row, which has only been done by Larry Bird. But I don't know if the media or anyone will allow him to get that award. So I think there's a little bit of voter fatigue playing in. So I don't think that he'll always be in the conversation. I don't think he'll actually win it. But he deserves to be in the MVP favorite. It just depends on how good the Nuggets are as well. Because he's always going to be good. But if the Nuggets are disappointing, then I don't really see him winning it. But he's definitely going to be here no matter how his team does. Giannis is also an MVP favorite. And just his defense alone puts him in this tier. He could easily have another MVP DPOY season. So, and also his MVP level impact on that end also helps him. And also the narratives of the playoffs where they could have won had Chris Middleton been healthy. So I think that this season he has a better case than Jokic, for example. So, and then Curry, Steph. I think that he has a case this season. I think he's a favorite for sure. He might be a little bit older. The thing is, I think he's a little bit in between candidate and MVP favorite because last season he started off great, amazing, but towards the middle and end, he kind of pulled down, wasn't consistent. He was out a few games. So if he comes back this season, even though he's won the finals, right? But he comes back this season with a fury, right? Motivated. I think that he could win it for sure. Maybe there should have been a tier between MVP favorites and candidates, but looking at it, I think that LeBron next. I think he could be a candidate. I think that he'll be good as always, but the Lakers just don't seem like a team that'll make a big splash or do anything significant in the regular season. So that definitely hurts him. I think that he'll put up great numbers, but his team won't win a lot, so that definitely hurts him. Zion, I can see him as a sneaky contender. I don't know what he looks like off of a year out. That's the thing. All these in sneaky contender level, I don't know exactly how they're gonna look. I think they'll all be great in some way. But Zion, last time he was in the league, he put up near 27 points per game in his second year. So I definitely have faith in him returning to an all-star level. But it just depends on how high the Pelicans are this season. I think they'll be a good team. Now, maybe I should create a tier. Let's see. Put tier. I'll create an all-star tier. So, definitely Trae, definitely Ja. But I think, LeBron is definitely a tier below, because I don't think that his team will be great. So, I think all of them are going to be all-stars, but just to differentiate between sneaky contender and all-star, I think that all-star is in between candidate and sneaky contender because it may not have the impact of a candidate or the winning level, but they're definitely going to be better than some in the sneaky contender area. And Devin Booker, he'll definitely be in the all-star category. I think he could be a candidate. I think some of what's hurting him is some of the narratives after Game 7. If he comes out to like 30 points per game throughout the season, I could see him in the candidate section. So, I might put him in candidate. I think he deserves to be in candidate, but I think some of the narratives around him will hurt. And then Kevin Durant. I will put him in candidate as well. Always a bucket. He can credit for himself. We all know what he can do. I think that the Nets definitely had a bad offseason, but I think they're going to be a solid team, which will help him. They're definitely going to be a playoff team, and he's always going to be in the MVP conversation as long as he stays healthy. So, yeah, I think Kevin Durant is for sure a candidate. Now, Jason Tatum, I see him in the candidate as well. I think he's on the tier of all these guys, maybe even an MVP favorite. But the thing is, sometimes, like, for example, at the beginning of last season, he didn't start off very well. He's missing layups, stuff like that. So I'll put him in candidate for now, because I think that with the run the Celtics had at the end of the season, where they were like 35-12, something crazy like that, I think that he could definitely be a candidate. And Jimmy Butler, I think that he'll just be in the all-star category. I think that he has great impact on the floor at all times, but his numbers might not show it, which is definitely important for MVP voters. And that they'll definitely underrate it a little bit. Because the Miami Heat will be a great team, but I don't think that the voters will look at him and say he's the... Well, they'll say that he's the main reason, but there are definitely other important pieces around him, like Bam, Tyler Hero, who I would say is probably one of their best scorers, so I think that he'll be good on the All-Star tier. Alright, so let's see what I could move. So I'll just put Trae in the All-Star tier, because like I said, I don't know how good the Hawks will be this season, and with the addition of Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs, it just seems kind of dubious to put him in the candidate section, because they might not even make the playoffs this season, which is crazy to think about. The East is so competitive. Yeah, I think all my selections make sense when I look at it. One more time. Thank you guys for watching. It was a pleasure making this for you guys. Tell me if you want anything more from my channel. I'm going to try to be making some other interesting videos. Yeah. Talk to you guys later.